Vanakkam. Welcome to Kanaa Episode 4 Online Dance Festival International 2020. Kanaa is something created to encourage the young dancers during this COVID situation, to motivate them, to boost them, to practice and to pursue dance rather than quitting. Today also, we have a special guest, a Kalakshetrian, my senior, Arun Velayudhan. He will be discussing about innovation and invention, a discussion in dance. Before we go to the discussion section, I would like to introduce our guest for today. Arun Anna have commenced his dance journey at the age of 6. Ever since the dancing journey is commenced, it's always about self-discovery for Arun Anna. He is a Kalakshethra Graduate as well as postgraduate from Kalakshethra Foundation, Chennai. He is also a graduate in BCom under Calicut University, Kerala. He have performed extensively in well-known Kalakshetra repertoires such as Bharata in Mahapattabhishekam, as Lakshmana in Sita Swayambara for Aranyakam in Delhi 2010, Shatrugna in Paduka Pattabhishekam, as Dhanvantari in Kurmavatara, and the list follows. Now he is pursuing his career as one of the leading dancer in Spanda dance company of Padma Shri Leela Sampson. Ever so delighted to have you on board, Arun Anna. It's really good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to invite me for this festival to talk about such a topics that it's a good initiation, Amirthini, that you calling the youngsters to just share their perception about as a dancer, performer, as a teacher. I'm so happy that you invited me and I could give you something, what is my experience, a small experience that I got it about this topic, which is invention and creation in dance. It's just an understanding. It's not any introspection or anything, something. I'm not anyone to do that. I'm still learning and I'm still watching and still experience many factors as like you all do that one. So we are actually here to share many things about. So when come back to the dance, it has a many beautiful historical understanding, like very inspirational things. We just may not be gone into those kind of like aspects. We directly learned something, but we go deep into something of the how did this art form has invented. Frankly speak, the dance itself an innovation. It's an invention actually, not innovation. It's an invention actually. Why we dance? So when the question comes, you have to go back to the history to find out where did it started from. We all have the shastras called the Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra. So I think the Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra is not just to speak about dance. It's speak about many things. So there it is comes invention and creation. Okay, there it is comes invention and creation. Let me tell you what is invention. So many people might have this, what is the invention? It's, the invention is a truly novel and it's a different, like something it's not existed. Something is new has invented. Something is very new. For example, the Bharatanatyam was not there before. Some would have invented that one, the art form. That we can call it's very new. It's very fresh. The invention of Bharatanatyam is very fresh. The Shastra was there. From the Shastra, they taken out the Bharatanatyam is an invention. Something new. That's called invention. The creation is actually whatever you have invented, that particular idea that you have given shape to it. That's a creation. So Bharatanatyam is also a creation. Then I never said this innovations. Innovation is a very interesting fact. Innovation, when there is an invention, when there is a creation, there is innovation. Without innovation, there is nothing is perfect, nothing is completed. Because the aspirate to change to something, to develop, from the invention, from the creative, we wanted every time to something to innovate. You know that innovate, the meaning it's about what you invent, that has to be like, change accordingly, time and period and all those things within the form of a tradition. That's what is innovations, like you innovate something new. All invention contains innovations. But not every innovation rises to the level of a unique invention, which means all invention, whatever you created a new things, it's just not the end. You create something new on it. That new things is kind of innovations. But every innovation is not the level of invention. When we talk about this invention, innovation, creativity, definitely we have to talk about our Kalakshethra style. So which is actually came from Pandanallur Band. So I'm really would love to mention some chords why I was so focused on this invention and creation. Once I was reading this book of Atte's, the word is saying that we should follow tradition, but we must remember not to accept everything just because it is in the tradition. And also she said it about it. Just as we should not do anything just because it is new. Every new is not created.
Wow.
So when after said this sentence, she has added this also. Because there is a great distinction between inventiveness and creativeness. She brought their inventiveness and creativeness, which is, I was like, what is it? At that time, I was not aware why she was saying that inventiveness and creativeness. The creative spirits come from deep sources. It's from the deep sources, while the inventive spirit is purely mechanical. So, come back to the style of Kalakshethra. She said she had to invent something. Then the mechanical process. The mechanical process happened when you looked at to the Tattadavu and the Natadavu. We may not sure. I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm wrong. The Pantanur Bani may not have this much adavus. So we don't say Padaval adavu. We just say Radite adavu or the Dedam adavu, that adavus and all those things. So when she started inventing something, she don't want to take the credit of something which is already there. She wanted to do that, give a particular name to it, and something that she wanted to create within that one. The patterns of the adavus, like we are actually starting with a Tattadavu. Forget about the rhythm. Just talk about the positioning of the movements. Somebody who had invented this, the positioning, would have thought about the body symmetrical positions and asymmetrical position. We can actually bring this concept to this one. What is symmetrical and what is asymmetrical? The first position is talk about asymmetrical. When you see Aramandi, it's very equalized. The right side of the body and the left side of the body is equally proportionate. And wants new students to figure out how that stand in that position. But when you say as a teacher, this is the Aramandi, you have to actually follow what I said it about. That will be a very direct things to it. You should, because the body is very new, they're not experienced with. So that child, the student is actually experienced the Aramandi in the first time. So that is also an invention actually. Come back to an Natadavu, the asymmetrical format comes. Like one side is equal other side is different. Then it's alternatively changes. So it will be like, when they set the adavus, when they formed the Bharatanatyam, they wanted this particular abstractions in their art form. The development which has happened from Tattadavu to Natadavu and Natadavu to another Adavu. So when it's come to Tatiteta Adavu, we actually taking a general space. And what is general space and what is personal space? That's also an interesting fact. This is not something we invented. It's already invented. This is talking about now. So then somebody was choreographed this, created this Tateta Adavu, which is in the concept that the development is in the case of like understanding the space. Because the Tattadavu and the Natadavu is very personal space. Wherever you stand, you're dancing. Then the next stage is about inventing the space. Like, you understand the space, you started moving to the right side and the left side and the diagonals and these things. This is a space awareness that happened in the third development. Then each adavus are actually developing the idea. They are inventing something in period of times to something like, developing. And we have a huge set of adavus. Coming back to Ate, she may not be have this Tatitam, which is, we say that we start with the Tatitam has a particular manner. Everything has this one started. But when you look at the second half of it, she made innovations to it. There is no invention. I cannot say that is an invention. There may be an innovation. Okay? Because the pattern of all the Tatitams start with this one. Later, the Tatitams has changed its pattern to this. She totally changed. That cannot be, that will be an invention. There would be chances of this in the Pandanallur style. The second half would be a walking, perhaps, I'm saying that's perhaps, or a walking or different. But she invented a turning, a spinning, like, the second one is an extension and a spinning. I don't know whether that would be in a Pandanallur Bani. It can be an invention, it can be an innovation. We don't know to ask about it. I never gone behind it, but it's my curiosity to know about it. The turning, wherever you see the turning, the spinning in so fast or so subtle, where did her idea of the spinning would come from? Where she would be invented about? Because she's also inspired with Anna Pavlova's ballet. The movement can be come from, the spinning is actually talking in Bharatanatyam. It's not, the spinning is also talking in Odissi. The spinning is also talking in different art forms, like, any art forms. So she wanted, there is a possibility that spinning would be, have done that her idea of to bring that inspirations to this art form within the tradition, within the certain form, it has its own source. So when you look at that, there is an extension, there is sharp movements, there is a soft movements, there is a wide movement. It's not giving the same energy. When you look at that once, maybe we never learned that from a teacher like that. They would have said like that, te tam, te tam. Even the cholla, I don't know whether the cholla came first or the adavu came, the form of adavu came first. Because the methodology of the certain nuances of the certain pattern of adavus keep certain a certain understanding. Like, that the Tetam will be different from Brahmari. The Brahmari will be different from that one. Something is focused on each other's. Within that frame, they have actually modeled it. They show the gradual lifting up of these adavus into many extents. And then when I said about the Tetam, I have invented about it. It's a little funny, but I'm not anyone to invent about it. It is someone to understand whether that is an invention or that is innovation. Okay, so you know the difference between this one. So I'll little show you that what is I invented. It may not be a traditional concept, but it has. Out of my curiosity, something I have done it. I'll show you this adavu. Just it is actually we say that one ka te kam, te kam, ta te kam, te. That is so. Te kam, te kam, ta te kam, te ta te kam, ta te kam. So cannot compare to anything. It is out of curiosity of taking a circle movement and directly push yourself, and there is an extension after that. There is a positioning like how Aramandi, Mujamandi, and Prayanganam, and the turning and the Didite is never the pattern what is be seen. We have a directed to this one. I have a turning and an extension of that one. If you are very clear about what you do it, then there's no frighten about your creativity. There is no criticism comes. But if I talk about the Brahmari of dance, like you know, the Brahmari is also in the Odissi, also in Bharatanatyam. The different invention. Can I say one thing? The different invention is a very interesting fact when you say the Brahmaris of a Bharatanatyam has very abstracted manner. But when you look into the Odissi, it has a very graceful manner. But I'm not saying that you cannot bring the grace into the Bharatanatyam. You can. That's called innovation. Okay, like you know, I learned the Brahmaris in Kalakshethra Graduate and turn and join. There is also a bend like this and push yourself like this. And I was shocked to see when I was doing that Spanda, Leela has invented it. So her Brahmari was totally is mesmerized. It's very difficult to, you know, like it's very difficult to see when she's doing. The Brahmari has this direct things like this, and she jumps to and just goes like that. So, but when you look at the Odissi, so that's her invention actually. But the Brahmari, the first step is about a Brahmari is actually a spinning. The technical terms is the spinning. But when it's come to a traditional and the Shastra, it says Brahmari. But when in the Western concept, there's a spinning. How the spinning has actually derived is could be like, you know, when see in the Odissi, there's totally different. I'm not an Odissi dancer, but just see the difference. You do that one and you this one. Even this has happened, the same movements and the patterns. Also, I saw in Canadian dance as well. The positioning, the turning, and the spinning, everything. But the Odissi has its certain pattern of they say it's about certain grace in their movements. They also bring so much innovations to it. So the Brahmaris in Bharatanatyam, the Brahmaris in Odissi has a similarities. It's also unique, but there's a different subject. There is a different pattern. There is a different art forms. But everything came from a Shastra. So that is the terminology and methods we use it. And come back to the Leben's theory, which is interestingly, we all never learned Leben's theory. But when my work actually, I work in some particular creative moments, we created a subject where we work together, I would get a chance to work with the Western people. So the Western people talk about their art form is a creative movement. They talk about a Levens theory. When I was reading these things, I would have so surprised. It's not not invented in any Western country. It's from Art Shastra. Something has been missed about it. The detailing of the movements. The detailing of the movements. If I say Tatetaha, we have a direct impact. Ta, te, ta, ha, di, te, ta, ha. We never talked about the uh, extension, the large movement, the sharp movement, then it is a sustained movements, because we can, the sharp can be shown in sustained. It can be shown on the slow. The movements are actually arrived in this manner. If you could actually give this tatetaha in, like, imagine, we only do in a chaturashram. Tat, kadimi, tat, kadimi is everything. Imagine if you have to do it is in a mishram. Ta, kadimi, ta, ki, ta. So you have a time to get an innovations into it. That you have a ta, kadimi, ta, ki, ta. Even you can say that one ta, kadimi, ta, ki, ta. You know, you can take all the spirits. It's not necessary that time period has to be. We are very tend to like finish it off in a time period because it gives 4 here, it gives a 4 here. What is the wrong? We have actually 5 and we have a 3. We actually can take 6 and 2. We have a tatta. But we actually opted to just innovate something new or innovation something new about movements. It's beautifies. You can do that. Ta, te, ta, ha, di, te, ta, ha, ta, te, ta. Suddenly from a sharp to a slow to sharp, a sustained and everything. Why can't we actually? That's also an invention. But you have to see that one, the second speed is also act in the process. It's just to polish your movements. Once you experience this one, you would able to fit into Tishram, you would able to fit into Chaturashram, be able to fit into any Thala Pramana, it will go. Their invention happened. We only not stick into like that. It has its own beauty, but you have to just to know that where it is comes from. This knowledge is actually came from me actually when I started working in Spanda.
Wow. Can you?
So she gave the possibilities to it because there is a freedom. There is a freedom you to show your. She just say ask, you know, you can do. Could you just do this one? Why it is like that? She sometimes asks. You get offended about it, but it's not just an offended. She asking your knowledge to it. How do you actually understood this adavos? There were actually space to us to like show off, like, you know, what is I have understood. If there is interesting factor, she will appreciate it. If there is correction part, there really definitely she will correct it to you, like, you know, not supposed to do that and all this. That space it was there. Apart from like, you know, the tension of being in the group, the individualities also she focused. It is not that everybody has to be like the same and perfect. She knew that that's very difficult process. In everybody in the line doing the same times and doing the same process, it was quite challenging for at that times. I was never used to it. So, but when it came and the positioning, it was just shock to me. I don't know what is the direction. I didn't know what is pathways. I don't know what it was like traveling movements. I don't know why this movements has go to and do in a dimension. There's a lot of circles, triangles happening in the floor. Your movements also exploring some innovations, ideas. That gave me like, you know, this art is not just ending in one talam. it goes on, the experiments goes on. That's make you actually a real artist end of the day. So all the gurus, whoever come from Kalakshethra backgrounds, like, our seniors, legendary gurus, that I feel like, that's a special moment that I deliberately went and I just spent little times learning of their small choreography, something. So I went into all the gurus and I just observed them, like, kind of observation that comes out of curiosity. But after reading the books of Atte, I wanted to know that how how they are actually so legends. Because learning them is also a good good invention actually. You will you keep that source something in your pocket, then you will have that philosophy in you, like, how they had their entire life at that philosophy under the shelter of Atte. uh, I could see everybody's invented something. So that was actually a very interesting fact. Like when went to CV sir and learned something, there was a lot of huge he gave to me. Like, in within one choreography, he said it to me, like, this one, this one, this one, this one. The wish to learn something from a guru that is completed. Meaning, I never followed him for a long. That was not my focus actually. My focus was to, like, how did he actually become a legend? How did his visions of what this has. Then went into Janardhanan sir, went to Dhananjayan sir, always Lilaka. I'm continuing the learning with the Lilaka. And I started exploring many factors. There are a lot of excitement right now. So I don't know, I never finished off inventing and innovations and the creation. It discontinued. Go and meet them and something. You definitely change your perspective. You will definitely get a good vision to good source to it, to something to develop. When you start something new, you understand, okay, I'm responsible for this. My responsibility has to develop from this one. I have to continue that process of doing it. Then automatically you are an artist. I'm not saying that you are a dancer, but you're an artist. That will help you. All of them has to be like not learning from us, all the legendary people. You go and spend a time with them, slowly observe them. You get in a time, or just watch their dance performance. All this methodology is clearly visible on their performances as well. So this is about invention and creation and innovations. Uh, I don't know. I don't know whether I cover up a lot of things, but still it was interesting things to share. How would inspired me that invention, creation, and innovations in my daily life, because all these three is actually make you a perfect artist, a perfect personality in one day.
It's wonderful, Anna. There's nothing you left out. Sitting and listening to you brought me back to Kalakshethra memories while we at Kalakshethra. And then when you shared about Leelaka, such wonderful, she's a fully established artist. She's a full artist. So when you shared the experience with Spanda, Leelaka, and then these innovations and inventions, it's really mind blowing. I have one last question from you. What is your advice for the young viewers who's sitting and watching you, who's listening to you? Please tell them something, your advice.
Uh, See, whatever the kids are learning, something is actually very special. Always have that inspirations in them to be like, when you just find out something new thing, it's just don't, what is Ate said, like, you just don't blindly believe it and just do it. I must say, you have to actually observe your teacher. The teacher might have a lot of graces in you, like to give it to you, the chances and the nuances, and never end there the search. You have to actually go around and search, like, why this did happen, why did this one. That search, that that discovery will give you a lot of knowledge too. When the knowledge comes, you are actually enjoying your art. So all the kids I'm asking, your students have to learn from, not only from an art, from the teacher itself, the teacher's grace, the teacher's way of uh, giving you the explanation, the way of everything, because the teacher has become an artist. The teacher's performance give you the knowledge. The inspirations brings you a perfect artist one day. So you have to aspire to that one. It's not just technical aspects you learned about. You have to be like, try to turn to an artist, try to focus on an artist. What is an artist? A dancer, a teacher, a performer, all together is an artist. So they wanted to be like, focus on that. I feel, because as like I felt, if I would have be like, think about I'm only the performer, then I would be only thinking about my space of like performing everywhere and getting exposure about it. Or if I'm a teacher, I was like, only teach that once. No, you should actually, to a good performer, you should be a good teacher. Because when the teaching, you get a lot of knowledges. When you're from the a performer, then you get a knowledge of what should I teach to my students as a performing basis. So there is a lot, like it's a comparison, it's a coin, it's like a coin with two sides, but it still is in the coin. So I feel like, it should be there.
Thank you.
That's the only thing.
The advice itself, I believe all the children and then all the young dancers who are sitting and watching you will be thrilled to actually apply it and proceed.
Right. Thank you so much, Amirthini. This is my first talk actually. I was like, I was actually frightened, never talked about it, but this is my first talk. Thank you for calling me. And I was I'm so touched about when I looked at all the previous thing. You call the youngsters to be like, things about it, and everybody have that curiosity about something to give it to you, and you are also taking about it, and the patience you to listen it about. There would be like something I would have loved to ask you. You would have a lot of knowledge to something in the form. So it's like a sharing. That thank you for calling me for this wonderful talk and wonderful things about sharing things. That's always a pleasure to be like.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on board for Kanaa.
It's my pleasure.
Listening to you, it's really refreshing. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to you.
Thank you.
Everybody is going to enjoy listening to you. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you so
much, Arun Anna, for spending your time with us and explaining your discussion so beautifully. I thoroughly enjoyed it. With this, we are entering the second phase of Kanaa, episode 4, the performance segments. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the wonderful gurus who are collaborating with Kanaa. Guru Srimati Swapna Sridharan, Mayura Academy of Dance, Pennsylvania, USA. Guru Meera Balasubramaniyan Kalpavriksha, Fine Arts, Singapore. Guru Charulatha, N. Natyalaya, Chennai. Guru Smt.Nivethitha Satish, Aham, Divine Dance Academy, Chennai. Without your support, Kanaa won't be possible. Without further delay, let us watch the young dancers perform, support them, and encourage them.
Namaskaram. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
My name is Divita.
And my name is Rishika.
I am the disciple of Guru Srimati Swapna Sridharan, founder and director of Mayura Academy, Pennsylvania, USA. I have been learning for the past 3 years.
And I am the daughter and disciple of Guru Srimati Swapna Sridharan. I have been learning dance under her for the past 6 years. We would like to thank the Kanaa team for giving us the opportunity to present our dance today. We will be presenting Chatiswaram, Ragam Arabi, Talam Adi, composed by Sri Mysore Vasudevacharya. This piece was choreographed by my guru, Swapna Sridharan.
Sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da ba ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da ba ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa
धलम को तक धे को तक द देंगे न तोम ता को धन को तक धन को गे न को तक तकिट छम तकिट छम छम ता को धन को तक धन को गे न को तक तकिट छम तकिट छम छम ते ता को धन को छम धन को गे न को छम त छम तक दे को कृत कर तोम त छम तक दे को कृत कर तोम त छम तक दे को कृत कर तोम
sa ni da da pa pa ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da pa pa ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da pa pa ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ri da da sa pa pa da ma ma pa ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa da pa ma ga ri ma pa da pa sa ri ma ma pa da pa ma ma pa da pa sa ni da pa ri sa ni da pa da ma pa da ri ma pa sa ri ma pa da pa da sa ni da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa ri sa pa da pa ma pa da sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa
years from my guru, Mrs. Charulatha. Today I am going to perform Jyothish. Ragam Vasanta, Talam Rupaka Talam. Song traditional, choreographed by Dr. Rukmini Devi Arun. Here comes my performance.
Madani sa ni da ni da மதனி தசா
Namaskar, I am M. Merlin Sandra. I am 12 years old, learning Bharatanatyam for the past 7 years from Smt.Nivethitha SatishKumar of Aham Divine Dance Academy. I thank Kanaa team for giving me this great opportunity. Today I am going to perform Murugar Kavithuvam, which is choreographed by my guru Smt.Nivethitha SatishKumar. Raham Shanmuga Priya, Talam Adi. This song is composed by Madurai R. Muralidharan. Thank you.
Janna kitta kirra kitta takkudu dikkudu darigidada takkudu dikkudu dagadarigida takkudu darigina chakka janna kitta kirra kitta takkudu dikkudu darigidada takkudu dikkudu dagadarigida takkudu darigina chakka janna kitta kirra kitta takkudu dikkudu darigidada takkudu dikkudu dagadarigida takkudu darigina chakka janna kitta kirra kitta takkudu dikkudu darigidada வினயரவேல் வாங்கும் பெருமாள் அடியினை தொழு மனமே ஜக்க ஜக்க வினயரவேல் வாங்கும் பெருமாள் அடியினை தொழு மனமே ஜக்க ஜக்க வினயரவேல் வாங்கும் பெருமாள் அடியினை தொழு மனமே நங்கிட தொங்கிட கிருதகி தொங்கு நங்கு தொங்கும் தத்தா தொங்கிட நங்கிட தொங்கிட கிருதகி தொங்கு நங்கு தொங்கும் தத்தா தோகிடதகி தோகிடதன் தோகிட தோகிடதகி தோகிட கிருதகி தக்கும் தாரி கிண்ண ஜக தக்கண்டக ஜகத்தாம் தோகிடதகி தோகிடதகி தோகிட தோகிடதகி தோகிட கிருதகி தக்கும் தாரி கிண்ண ஜக தக்கண்டக ஜகத்தாம் காணம் மயிலேறி கைலாயம் தன்னை சுழலவரும் இளையவனை தொழுவார் தாளவிதம்பரம் உடையவர் காணம் மயிலேறி கைலாயம் தன்னை சுழலவரும் இளையவனை தொழுவார் தாளவிதம்பரம் உடையவர் காணம் மயிலேறி கைலாயம் தன்னை சுழலவரும் இளையவனை தொழுவார் தாளவிதம்பர உடையவர் ஜக்குடு ஜன்னக்கிட்ட ஜக்குடு ஜன்னக்கிட்ட ஜன்னக்கிட்ட ஜனகிட ஜனகிட கிடதகி ஜனகிட ஜனகிட கிடதகி ஜனகிட கிடதகி ஜக்குடு ஜன்னக்கிட்ட ஜக்குடு ஜன்னக்கிட்ட ஜன்னக்கிட்ட ஜனகிட ஜனகிட கிடதகி ஜனகிட ஜனகிட கிடதகி ஜனகிட கிடதகி கடல் கிழிய மலை முறிய வரும் முருகன் அருள் பெற்று கதியது பெறலாம் கடல் கிழிய மலை முறிய வரும் முருகன் அருள் பெற்று கதியது பெறலாம் கடல் கிழிய மலை முறிய வரும் முருகன் அருள் பெற்று கதியது பெறலாம் தக்கிடதுக்கு திக்கிடதுக்கு தக்குடுதான் தக்கிடதுக்கு 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 திக்கிடதுக்கு தக்குடு தக்கிடதுக்கு தக்கிடதுக்கு தக்குடி குதக்கி தொங்கின கிடதுக்கு தங்கி கிடதக தீக்கிட்டாம் தீக்கிட்டாம் தீக்கிட்டாம்
I'm Anagha Jyothish. For the past 5 years, I've been learning Bharatanatyam in the Kalakshethra style under the tutelage of Guru Amirthini Sivaharan. Our teacher is so special because of the sheer amount of effort and time she puts in to helping each and every one of us, all of her students. Today, I will be performing a piece choreographed by her, the Padam Adinaya Kanaa, the Raga Mohana Kalyani, Talam Adi. This was composed by Srimati Ambujam Krishna. I hope you enjoy this performance.
ஆடினையே கண்ணா ஆடினையே கண்ணா ஆடினையே கண்ணா ஆடினையே கண்ணா ஆடினையே கண்ணா ஆடினையே கண்ணா பிருந்தாவனம் தனிலாடினையே கண்ணா பிருந்தாவனம் தனிலாடினையே கண்ணா 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 ஈடிலா அழகிய கோபியர் உனை தேடி நாடி வந்தார் நதிக்கரை நிலவொளியில் ஈடிலா அழகிய கோபியர் உனை தேடி நாடி வந்தார் நதிக்கரை நிலவொளியில் ஈடிலா அழகிய கோபியர் உனை தேடி நாடி வந்தார் நதிக்கரை நிலவொளியில் ஆடினையே கண்ணா பிருந்தாவனம் ஆனந்த ரசமய அற்புத நடனம் ஆடினையே கண்ணா 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 மயில் பீலி சற்றே கொண்டை தனில் அசைய மயில் பீலி சற்றே கொண்டை தனில் அசைய நவரத்ன மகுடம் சிரம் தனில் ஒளிர நவரத்ன மகுடம் சிரம் தனில் ஒளிர மகர குண்டலங்கள் இருசெவி இளங்க மதிமுகம் தனிலே முறுவல் விளையாட மகர குண்டலங்கள் இருசெவி இளங்க மதிமுகம் தனிலே முறுவல் விளையாட மனம் கமழ் மாலைகள் மார்பில் அசைந்தாட மயங்கும் அந்தி வண்ண ஆடை இடையாட மனம் கமழ் மாலைகள் மார்பில் அசைந்தாட மயங்கும் அந்தி வண்ண ஆடை இடையாட மதுர மோகன குழலிசை கூட்ட மங்கையர் கண்கள் மையல் காட்ட மணிசதங்க மங்கை ஜதிகள் கூட்ட மனமகிழ்ந்து அருள் சொரிந்து பிருந்தாவனம் கரி ஆனந்த ரசமய அற்புத நடனம் ஆடினே கண்ணா ஆடினே கண்ணா 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 கண்ணா
I have been learning Bharatanatyam for the past 3 years under my guru Meera Balasubramaniyan of Kalpavriksha Fine Arts. I am extremely grateful for this opportunity. The piece that I am performing today is called Kuraludi Manam Ellam, which is composed by Uttakadu Venkata Subbaiya in Ragam Kamboji and Talam Aham.
குழலூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட பின்னும் குறையேதும் எனக்கேதடி குழலூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட பின்னும் குறையேதும் எனக்கேதடி தோழி குழல் ஊதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட உலகேது எனக்கேதடி தோழி குழலூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட உலகேது எனக்கேதடி தோழி குழலூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட உலகேது எனக்கேதடி தோழி புகழ் பூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட உலகேது எனக்கேதடி தோழி புகழ் பூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட உலகேது எனக்கேதடி அழகான மயிலாடவும் அழகான மயிலாடவும் மிக அழகான மயிலாடவும் பாட்டில் அசைந்தாடும் கொடி போலவும் மிக அழகான மயிலாடவும் காட்டில் அசைந்தாடும் கொடி போலவும் அகமகிழ்ந்திலகும் இளவொளி தனிலே அலை மறந்து புள்ளிடும் கூட அசைந்தாடிக இசை கோடி வரும் நலம் காண ஒரு மனம் நாட அது இது என ஒரு பதம் பாட கடித தருவி என கடம் ஆட கருன்று பசுவினோடு நின்று துணை சூழ என்று மலருக இறைவன் கருவோடு குழலூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட உலகேது எனக்கேதடி தோழி குழலூதி மனம் எல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட உலகேது எனக்கேதடி மகர
Namaskaram. My name is Varsha Ashwin. I'm 12 years old. I'm learning Bharatanatyam for the past 4 years. My guru's name is Srimati Charulatha. I really thank my guru as well as the Kanaa team for giving me a wonderful opportunity to perform in front of you all. Today I'm going to perform Sarasi Jakshalu Shabdam, which is set in Mr. Chapu Talam, Ragamalika Ragam, and this song was composed by Tanju Quartet Shivadivelu, and this song was choreographed by Srimati Gauri Ammal. Thank you.
Tataya te tatata tatay tatata tataya te tatata tadana dandana tajunu jundu dini tadana dandakina tadimi dini kitata te సరిగజీరలు అల్లదే కొని తరువునే కిట చూసుచుండుట తరతి జాక్షులు జలకమాడే తరుణనునని వత్సటికి జని సరిగజీరలు అల్లదే తరువునే కిట చూసుచుండుట చూసుచుండుట సరసి జాక్షులు జలకమాడే తరుణమునని పచ్చడికి జని సరిగజీరలు అల్లచేకొని తరుమునేకిక తరతి చక్షులు జలగమాడే తరుణమునని వసటికి జని సరిగజీరలు అల్లచేకొని తరుమునేకిక ఇటు చూచుచుండుట ధర్మమా ఇటు చూచుచుండుట ధర్మమా ఇటు చూచుచుండుట ధర్మమా ఇటు చూచుచుండుట ధర్మమా తదన దందన తజొను జోడిని తదన గణగిన తదిమి దివికిత పుటి వీరను పెట్టియుండే చటి పారుని అట్లగముని కొట్టి చేతుల పట్టి తాగిన గట్టిదన విదిగాదయ్యా పుటి వీరను పెట్టియుంటే చట్టి పారుని అట్లగముని కొట్టి చేతుల పట్టి తాగిన గట్టిదన విదిగాదయ్యా పుట్టి వీరను పెట్టియుంటే చటి పారుని అట్లగముని కొట్టి చేతుల పట్టి తాగిన గట్టిదన విదిగాదయ్యా పుట్టి వీరను పెట్టియుండే చటి పారుని అట్లగముని కొట్టి చేతుల పట్టి తాగిన గట్టిదన విదిగాదయ్యా గట్టిదన విదిగాదయ్యా గట్టిదన విదిగాదయ్యా తగణ దందణ తజొడు జోడు దివిద గణ గణకిన అల్లలక్ష్మి వల్లపుడవై కొల్లియలరే పల్లలో బల కొల్లబామల కూడిదివియది చెల్లుని గిరి చెల్లున అల్లలక్ష్మి వల్లపుడవై కొల్లియలరే పల్లలో బల కొల్లబామల కూడిదివియది చెల్లుని గిరి చెల్లున చెల్లుని గిరి చెల్లున అల్లలక్ష్మి వల్లపుడవై తొల్లియలరే పల్లలో బల కొల్లబామల కూడిదివియది చెల్లుని గిరి చెల్లున అల్లలక్ష్మి వల్లపుడవై తొల్లియలరే పల్లలో బల కొల్లబామల కూడిదివియది చెల్లుని గిరి చెల్లున చెల్లుని గిరి చెల్లున తదన దల్దన తజొడు జోడు దిమిద తోందణ చూడగ నలుగురను నిను నగుతురను లలిత మలయాళ మునగాగిన బలి బలిర శ్రీ పద్మనాభ నమోతుతే 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 దిన్నం తగుదరిగిట తక దిన్నం తగుదరిగిట తక దిన్నం తగుదరిగిట తక దలంకుదు తక తరిగిట తుం తత్తయ్యా తైద
Vanakkam. I am Akshara Anand, student of Guru Amirthini Sivaharan. We would like to thank all the gurus for letting their students participate in Kanaa. Without their support, Kanaa would not have been possible. Our humble namaskarams to Guru Meera Balasubramaniyan, Guru Srimati Charulatha, Guru Nivethitha SatishKumar, and Guru Srimati Swapna Sridharan. Such beautiful performances by talented dancers from USA, India and Singapore. Thank you dancers and very well done. On behalf of our team Kanaa, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our collaborators, Lisha Literary Club, Singapore, Tokyo Tamil TV and Tokyo Tamil Sangam for their continued support. Stay tuned for another exciting episode of Kanaa next Saturday 7 p.m. Singapore time. Till then, goodbye from Team Kanaa.